All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WeBook It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello and good Monday evening once more, everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Monday Night Raw Dog. I am your host, Coach. We have to update that intro because we have our new logo. We got to put that in there for Virgil to take care of. Just noticed that. But I'm pleased to be joined once again by my good friend, my co-host and producer for the show tonight, Big Daddy C.
How do? What's going on, Coach?
Not much, man. I mean, before we got on air tonight, we were discussing some deals about some good meat, and you got something good there tonight that you told me about.
Yeah, some good old ribs. I went grocery shopping last week, and so I was like, I usually buy ribs or like pork steaks and stuff like that, and so I was like, man, I'm feeling some ribs today, so let me go ahead and crank it on up. So that's what I did. So I'm enjoying that. I'll be enjoying that periodically through the show, but I'll be paying attention.
I don't blame you one bit, man. Enjoy away. I do not blame you. So let's go ahead. Let's start things off as Monday Night Raw kicks off with the Usos making their way into the ring, only for Paul Heyman and the Vision to interrupt the yeeting fest and complain about how last week the Masked Man came through once again. That led to the Vision being upset. Adam Pearce came out. The Usos were just kind of hanging out in the crowd for the whole time, weren't really doing much. Then Bronson Reed demanded that he get into the Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce then put him in a qualifying match for next week. LA Knight arrived, called Logan Paul a broccoli-haired bitch, and said, let's have a match. And what do you know? A Vince McMahon special right there. See, it's a 6-man tag match with everyone just conveniently all in at the same time. It was an okay segment. I think LA Knight stole the show, or stole the segment with his roasting of Austin Theory and Logan Paul. I think that was good. But other than that, it didn't really do a whole lot except set up this match, and we can go into that later. But what do you think of the opening segment in itself?
Like you said, typical Vince McMahon booking. Vince McMahon style booking right there, even though he's no longer here. It's almost like we're going back to how things were initially, just with new Vision members, where every week is something with LA Knight and the Vision. No Seth Rollins this time, at least not yet. But we'll get into that. I had no issues with the segment. It's just typical Vince McMahon style booking. Everybody got something to say. You got 3 heels, you got 3 baby faces. Yeah, let's put them in a tag team match. Now, I initially said to myself as soon as that happened, I was like, well, guess we got a main event. Nope. Adam Pearce like, yeah, we're getting this started out right now. I'm like, okay, well, here we go. So, it was just a typical thing for me. I wasn't really high on it. I wasn't really low on it.
All right, we get to the match now between these 6 men, and honestly, nothing too crazy happening with it. The crowd was doing a very good job of keeping the audience at home invested because they were really behind LA Knight, and LA Knight took in most of the action. Finally got a tag to Jey Uso, and then that's when chaos erupted. All 6 men just started going at it. And then Bronson Reed hitting a top rope suicide to the Usos and then setting up a tsunami on Jimmy and getting the win for the Vision. After the match, Logan Paul was trash talking once again to Michael Cole, talking about how the Vision is on top, only for, guess what, the Masked Man to appear again and stomp Logan Paul into the announce table. The Mystery Man runs away. So what I took away from this match, besides how over LA Knight still is, despite terrible booking decisions for him, I think they're really pushing Bronson Reed right now to be the new leader while Braun Breaker's out. I don't know if this means that Breaker kind of gets out of the loop if he comes back. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think this is a good call, making sure that Reed is the dominant force and getting the attention. I would assume next week in his qualifier match, he is going to win and goes to the Elimination Chamber. See what you think.
Yeah. The match itself I was actually shocked that Division One, and typically they lose these type of matches. So I was shocked that they actually won somewhat clean, Yeah, chaos ensued, but they won clean. There was really no at least in the moment that led to the winning, didn't really result in any like cheating on the part of the Vision. But I had no issues with how it ended. You got to have some momentum with these guys. You don't want to have them losing too much. And like you said with Bronson Reed, him basically taking over as the leader in Braun's absence is definitely important that you keep them respectable. You want to keep keep them respectable heels. You don't want them to be a laughing stock per se. So yeah, I was cool with it.
All right, we go to our next match, which is a women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Bayley, Asuka, and Natty. And this match, it wasn't really clicking that much for me, if I'm being honest. Also, I was partially on the phone with my mother during this match with helping her set up a PowerPoint because, that's the thing that our generation has to do for our parents. See,
they helped us with our homework back in the day, so now we got to help them.
I know. So so I was a little distracted during this match. I tried to watch what I could. However, I was surprised by the ending there when Asuka put Bayley in the Asuka lock and Bayley tapped out to it. So Asuka gets the victory and is moving on to the Elimination Chamber. Really, I didn't know what they were going to do with these three, who was going to be the winner. I think it was the fact that they just had Bayley tap out clean to Asuka is strange. Unless they're pushing for Asuka again. I don't see that right now, but it's more indicative of Bayley maybe going off the rails again. I don't know, but I just found that one very weird. Also, after the match, Maxine attacked Natty before they went backstage. So to increase that rivalry, we'll probably get a match next week or after the Elimination Chamber. But see, what do you think of this match?
The match, I would say probably for the first half of it, I wasn't paying attention. I was also multitasking. I was playing First Descendant on my Xbox and watching having Monday Night Raw playing on my phone. I had the speaker. I had it hooked up to the speaker so that way I could hear it pretty clearly. But yeah, so for the second half of the match, I was shocked at the fact that Asuka won, just period, and that she actually made Bayley tap out. I thought it would have been, Natty would have got caught, with a roll up or something like that, or they would have actually let Bayley win, And so, but yeah, for them to have Asuka win, it's pretty cool. So, former women's champ. So, got some big names in this match, and we'll see how everything plays out. But I thought it was okay.
All right, we get to our next segment, which is a promo from CM Punk coming to the ring to discuss his upcoming defense against Finn Balor and against Roman Reigns, one at Elimination Chamber and one at WrestleMania. He said that people in the quote-unquote office of WWE were not happy with him for jeopardizing the biggest WrestleMania main event ever, as they have so quoted it with Punk versus Roman. That led to Finn Balor interrupting. Dom Mysterio came out with him, and then JD McDonough made his return after his most recent neck surgery, and all of them beside Balor then talking about how he is actually the best in the world because he learned in dojos from luchadors and knew European catch wrestling. Punk said he agreed with him to an extent that he used to be the best in the world, but now that he will not be that special anymore because Punk has taken over. He said he wants Finn to be he asks Finn, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a guy who could get it done by himself or someone who needed his two best friends to attack him from behind? And Punk even gave them the chance to attack, but Finn held off Dom and McDonough, saying not to do it. Finn says he wants to do this on his own. So not too shabby of a segment there. I liked how they're again. I know we've been teasing this Judgment Day split for the last 2 to 3 years, it feels like. But the eventual turn on whether it's Finn just straight up leaving or even JD McDonough turning on Finn, it will be interesting to see. But Finn has said that he wants to go out and do this on his own, and he does not want any help at the Elimination Chamber. But I think this, again, there's that mini push we're seeing from Finn Balor. So we'll see how the creative team comes up with this. What do you think, C?
I thought it was interesting. Obviously, we, like you said, they've been teasing it for a hot minute. Normally, I feel like they did it with Damian Priest, a couple of years ago, where it was the same situation where, Damian Priest had to prove that he could do it on his own, and then eventually, they turned on him. And so I feel like we're pretty much about to get a repeat of that. And, turnabout is fair play in a way, I guess, Finn Balor did it to Priest, and now it's about to get done to him because he wants to prove he can do it on his own, that he doesn't need the Judgment Day. And, I think Dom and JD McDonough are going to get they're going to feel some type of way and what, you think you don't need us no more? You just want to throw us all to the side? Say less. We good. We don't need you in Judgment Day no more. and I think that's what's going to happen in the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, I was good with the segment. Can't wait to see how it unfolds.
All right, we go to our next match, which is a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was Penta versus El Grande Americano. Again, the match itself didn't have a lot of highlights at the beginning. It wasn't even I found this curious that El Grande Americano kicked out of the Penta driver, which when Penta first got here was like think of Goldberg's spear and jackhammer. Like it almost looked untouchable, and now he's kicking out of that. So that's I found that interesting, or I guess that's a choice you can go with. But either way, Penta fought through the interference from Rayo and Bravo as they were going under the ring with the metal plate that El Grande Americano uses for his mask. The original El Grande Americano comes out and suplexes both men. He then distracts El Grande Americano. Penta then hits a springboard Mexican Destroyer for the win in a still solid match, but highly overbooked. Then after the match, the OG Americano attacked the imposter and nearly got him unmasked before Rayo and Bravo pulled him away to safety. I mean, yeah, this match it was okay. There was just some questionable things happening with it. Does get some good story development. One with the Americanos, and now two, looks like they're gonna run it back from last year. Penta and Dom fighting for the IC title at WrestleMania. I'm okay with that. I think that's a good call.
Piss break.
Fair.
I'm glad Penta won. You already know how I feel about the Americanos, including the original. I'm over all of them. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Hey man, that's fair. That is fair. I'll leave you to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we get to our next segment, which is AJ Lee coming to the ring for a promo talking about how she is ready to take on as many challengers as she can with this new division of women's wrestlers like Lyra, Bailey, Rhea, Io, and the Kabuki Warriors, or even reigniting old rivalries with Natty, talking about the old Divas Championship, and now how she wants to take the new Intercontinental Championship from Becky. Of course, Becky then came out, did her thing, and then really just no advancement whatsoever with the story. But this match is happening at Elimination Chamber. When Becky came out, that was when my piss break happened. See, so that's how I thought of that segment.
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling this one either. It's just like I said last week. At some point, just stop talking, throw hands. Like when somebody else comes out, hey, just drop the mic and just go at it. Like we know what it is, back in the day, the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, somebody came out and we know how heated the feud was, and it wasn't no talking. Just hey, we throwing hands right off the rip. And that I feel like that's a good way to, best sell, a feud, just chill, just have them scrap every week until they actually get in the ring and settle it for real. So yeah, it didn't move me. I was just sitting there just listening, it was the same old. Yeah.
I agree with you. All right, we get to our main event of the evening, which is another Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. As the match started, Dominic was playing the cowardly heel role to perfection, coming in and out of the ring, especially anytime Gunther made a move towards him. And when Evans finally started the offense, Gunther started laying some chops. Dom even tried to get some chops in, only to be chopped himself. And and Gunther was in control, neutralizing both of his opponents. I loved that they were showing the resiliency of Javon Evans and fighting back against Gunther using his speed. I love them using Dom as the sneaky, cowardly heel to take advantage of everything. He even had the timekeeper's hammer late in the match to try and hit Gunther with it. However, Gunther took it from him and was going to use it on Dom, only for a surprisingly Dragon Lee to jump from the barricade and hit Gunther with the ring bell. And once Gunther was knocked out, Dom went in, hit a 619 on Javon Evans, and as he was going for the frog splash, Evans rolled away and then hit the OG cutter for the pinfall and victory. And this one was a definite surprise for everybody because everyone thought, with the way Gunther's been booked, that he was going to win. And you didn't really think Dom was going to win either. So Javon was really the only hope there. And, I got to give him credit. I got to give the creative team credit. I didn't see this one coming, and I'm happy with it. I thought this was great. This is a big win for Javon. I'm praying that this is going to keep being a building block for him rather than just a flirting with the main event scene, because we got to remember what happened to Montez Ford. He had that brief little flirtation and then he got sent back to the tag team division. I don't want that to happen to Javon Evans. Still praying for that Montez singles run.
Yeah, I was also shocked by the bit. I thought Gunther for sure had this joint in the bag, and the fact that Javon was able to get it done. Now it would have been more significant, had he actually pinned Gunther. But Dom is the one guy that's a champion, double champion at that. So more likely, I guess they felt like it'd mean more for him to, defeat and pin a actual champion. And so yeah, I had no issues with the way this match turned out. I'm happy for Javon. Obviously, he's not going to win the chamber, but I think some good high flying spots are on the horizon in this match. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see. So I'm just glad some of the young guns are getting their opportunity to be in this match, even though it's looking like Cody is going to win it. Almost a surefire bet. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, so this Monday Night Raw, it wasn't the best as it was the last couple weeks. Punk and Balor definitely hyping up their matches of significance. I really liked that. Evans winning, again, biggest surprise. The opening match, not that great. I mean, it was okay. The Americano feud needs to be over soon, but they're probably going to drag it out to WrestleMania. It was just an okay show. You said about Evans and high flying spots in the chamber. He's going to climb on top of that chamber like John Morrison did and just fall.
Oh, yeah.
And just fall off and land on everybody.
Or he's going to hit the bounce. He's going to hit the cutter, or whatever the name of the cutter move is.
Yep.
He's basically just going to hit that off the top.
Yep.
He's just going to climb up, and he's just going to fall, and he's going to catch whoever. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that part, though.
You froze for a little bit, Coach. Yeah, you froze for a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
Nah. Yeah. No, what were you saying though?
No, I was just saying the show was okay. I give it a C
Yeah.
plus on the night. There was some good spots, but there was just a lot of tonight. So what do you
I
give
think
it?
I'll give it a C plus as well. Yeah. Nothing to write home about tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hope for next week to be better because it is the go home show before the Elimination Chamber. And in fact, they made this announcement for next week. They are in Atlanta, Georgia, and next Monday Night Raw is going to be a tribute to AJ Styles. So I am really looking forward to that. Could we get some twists and turns of maybe AJ's not done yet? Or will it just be a straight up, hey, this is it. This is my final
I think
hurrah.
he got one more. He got one more in him.
Yes, he does.
I think it ends at Mania. I think
he's got to get one.
At least his WWE career ends at Mania, and then he'll go to TNA and really finish off there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, looking forward to next week's show for that tribute. But to wrap things up tonight, thank you once again to Big Daddy C for producing and also making me jealous of those delicious ribs that he is eating right now. I am definitely going to be heading to Schnucks to buy some of those tomorrow after work. But for Big Daddy C, I am Coach. Thank you to all of our listeners and subscribers. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to everything here at the WeBook It podcast. And we'll see you next week for another edition of Monday Night Raw Dog.
Peace out, y'all.